There are several possible causes for experiencing a shock from a shower faucet, even when standard electrical tests seem normal. These can range from stray voltage to grounding issues and even static electricity. It is critical to address these concerns promptly, involving a qualified electrician if necessary, to guarantee safety. Firstly, consider stray voltage. Electricity can leak from appliances or circuits, causing stray voltage on conductive surfaces. Check nearby appliances for malfunctions or loose connections. Secondly, water pipe corrosion might be a factor. If the acrylonitrile butadiene styrene, or ABS, drain is corroded, metal piping underneath could contact the concrete floor, creating an electrical pathway. Thirdly, examine the grounding. Inadequate copper pipe bonding to the panel bus can cause problems. Verify all bonding connections are secure and free of obstructions like paint or corrosion. Fourthly, faulty wiring in a bathroom's electrical connections could leak electricity onto the water pipes. Finally, static electricity, especially in dry conditions, can discharge when touching conductive surfaces. Now let's discuss troubleshooting steps. Firstly, test with a multimeter. Measure the voltage between the faucet handle and the ground wire, which is the green or bare wire, at the panel. If you read more than a few volts, this indicates a potential electrical hazard. Secondly, check grounding connections. Inspect the bonding strap between the copper pipes and the panel bus. Ensure it is properly connected and undamaged. Thirdly, test for stray voltage. Use a voltage detector or multimeter to check for stray voltage on the shower floor, drain, and nearby surfaces. Fourthly, inspect wiring. Examine the electrical wiring connections to the bathroom for damage or loose connections. Finally, eliminate static electricity. Use a humidifier or anti-static spray to reduce static electricity in the area. To elaborate on the multimeter testing, ensure your multimeter is set to alternating current, or AC voltage mode. Connect one lead of the multimeter to the faucet and the other to a known good ground, such as the grounding busbar in the electrical panel. Record the voltage reading. Any significant voltage, even a few volts, suggests a potential problem. When checking grounding connections, look for corrosion, loose screws, or broken wires. The grounding conductor should be securely attached to both the water pipes and the grounding busbar in the electrical panel. Also, verify that the size of the grounding conductor is appropriate for the size of the service entrance conductors per the National Electrical Code, or NEC. When testing for stray voltage, walk around the shower area with the voltage detector or multimeter, paying close attention to any metal surfaces or areas where water may accumulate. If you detect stray voltage, try to isolate the source by turning off circuits one at a time until the voltage disappears. This can help you identify the appliance or circuit that is causing the problem. During the wiring inspection, look for signs of damage such as frayed insulation, cracked wires, or loose connections. Pay particular attention to the wiring in the junction boxes and behind the electrical outlets and switches. If you find any damaged wiring, it should be repaired or replaced by a qualified electrician. Regarding static electricity, consider the environmental conditions in the bathroom. If the air is dry, static electricity is more likely to build up. Using a humidifier can help to increase the humidity level and reduce the risk of static shocks. Anti-static sprays can also be used to treat carpets and other surfaces that tend to accumulate static charge. Also consider induced voltage. Sometimes voltage can be induced in nearby metal objects due to electromagnetic fields from energized conductors. This induced voltage is typically low and not dangerous, but it can still cause a noticeable shock. To check for induced voltage, turn off the circuit breaker that supplies power to the bathroom and then remeasure the voltage between the faucet and ground. If the voltage disappears, it suggests that induced voltage may be a contributing factor. Another area to consider is the equipotential bonding. The 2017 NEC Section 680.26 addresses equipotential bonding for swimming pools, and similar principles can be applied to shower areas. Equipotential bonding involves connecting all metal parts within the shower area to a common bonding grid to minimize voltage differences and reduce the risk of electric shock. This can include bonding the metal drain, water pipes, and any other exposed metal surfaces. To ensure proper equipotential bonding, consult with a qualified electrician who is familiar with the requirements of the 2017 NEC. If the homeowner is particularly sensitive to electrical shocks, consider using a ground fault circuit interrupter or GFCI outlet for all electrical circuits in the bathroom. A GFCI outlet is designed to trip quickly in the event of a ground fault, which can help to prevent electric shock. Also, it's good practice to ensure that all electrical work is performed in accordance with local codes and regulations. A qualified electrician can ensure that the wiring is installed correctly and that all grounding and bonding connections are properly made. Now let's look more at the grounding electrode system. Verify the integrity of the grounding electrode system for the house. This typically involves a ground rod or a connection to the metal water pipe entering the building. Ensure that the grounding electrode is properly connected to the service panel and that there are no signs of corrosion or damage. A faulty grounding electrode system can compromise the safety of the entire electrical system and increase the risk of electric shock. Also, check for shared neutrals. In some older homes, multiple circuits may share a common neutral conductor. If the neutral conductor is overloaded, it can cause voltage fluctuations and increase the risk of electric shock. Have a qualified electrician inspect the wiring to determine if there are any shared neutral circuits and correct any deficiencies. Furthermore, assess the plumbing system. Check for any metallic contact between the copper water pipes and other metal objects such as ductwork or gas pipes. Metallic contact can create a pathway for electricity to flow and increase the risk of electric shock. Insulate any areas where metallic contact is occurring. Another important factor is the type of water heater. If the home has an electric water heater, check the grounding connections to the water heater. A faulty grounding connection to the water heater can cause electricity to leak onto the water pipes and increase the risk of electric shock. Ensure that the water heater is properly grounded in accordance with the 2017 NEC requirements. If the homeowner has any concerns about the safety of the electrical system, it is always best to err on the side of caution and consult with a qualified electrician. A qualified electrician can perform a thorough inspection of the electrical system and identify any potential hazards. They can also make recommendations for repairs or upgrades to improve the safety of the electrical system. When measuring from the faucet to the hot side on the panel and reading 119 volts on each, it indicates that the faucet is properly connected to the electrical system and is at the same voltage potential as the hot side of the panel. This is normal and does not necessarily indicate a problem. However, it is important to note that voltage measurements can vary depending on the type of meter being used and the condition of the electrical system. If you are still concerned about the voltage readings, it is best to consult with a qualified electrician. If the residents say they have gotten a shock from the faucet long before the work was done, it suggests that the problem is not related to the new addition. This further reinforces the need to investigate other potential causes such as stray voltage, grounding issues, or static electricity. It is also important to consider the possibility that the residents may be experiencing a psychological phenomenon known as the nocebo effect. The nocebo effect is the opposite of the placebo effect, and it occurs when a person experiences negative symptoms with side effects simply because they expect to experience them. If the residents are convinced that they are going to get shot by the faucet, they may be more likely to experience a shock, even if there is no actual electrical hazard present. To rule out the nocebo effect, it may be helpful to have a qualified electrician inspect the electrical system without the residents present. This can help to ensure that the inspection is objective and unbiased. If the electrician finds no evidence of any electrical hazards, it may be necessary to address the residents' concerns through education and reassurance. In conclusion, there are many potential causes of electric shock from a shower faucet. A systematic approach to troubleshooting, including careful inspection, testing, and consultation with qualified professionals, is essential to ensure the safety of the occupants. The information provided here is for general guidance only and should not be considered a substitute for professional advice. Always consult with a qualified electrician for any electrical work or safety concerns. Now let's consider additional steps for troubleshooting. Firstly, conduct a voltage drop test. This test can help identify problems with the wiring in the circuit. To perform a voltage drop test, measure the voltage at the beginning of the circuit and then measure the voltage at the end of the circuit while the circuit is under load. A significant voltage drop indicates that there is excessive resistance in the wiring, which could be caused by loose connections, corrosion, or damaged wires. Secondly, check for neutral ground faults. A neutral ground fault occurs when the neutral conductor comes into contact with the ground conductor. This can create a pathway for electricity to flow through the ground, which can increase the risk of electric shock. To check for neutral ground faults, use a multimeter to measure the voltage between the neutral conductor and the ground conductor. A voltage reading of more than a few volts indicates a potential neutral ground fault. Thirdly, examine the electrical panel. Check the electrical panel for any signs of damage, such as corrosion, loose connections, or burned wires. Ensure that all of the circuit breakers are properly sized for the circuits that they protect. If you find any damage or deficiencies, have them repaired by a qualified electrician. Fourthly, consider using an electrical isolation transformer. An isolation transformer is a device that isolates the electrical circuit from the main power supply. This can help to reduce the risk of electric shock by preventing electricity from flowing through the ground. Isolation transformers are commonly used in hospitals and other sensitive environments where electrical safety is critical. Finally, consult with an electrical engineer. If you have exhausted all other troubleshooting steps and are still unable to resolve the problem, consider consulting with an electrical engineer. An electrical engineer can perform a more detailed analysis of the electrical system and identify any underlying problems that may be contributing to the electric shock. Remember to always prioritize safety when working with electricity. If you are not comfortable performing any of these troubleshooting steps, it is best to consult with a qualified electrician. Also consider environmental factors that can exacerbate electrical issues. High humidity, for example, can increase the conductivity of materials, making electrical shocks more likely. Check for any sources of moisture in the bathroom, such as leaky pipes or condensation, and address them promptly. Ensure that the bathroom is properly ventilated to prevent the buildup of moisture. Additionally, be aware of the potential for galvanic corrosion. Galvanic corrosion occurs when two dissimilar metals are in contact in the presence of an electrolyte, such as water. This can create a flow of electricity that can cause corrosion of one of the metals. To prevent galvanic corrosion, avoid using dissimilar metals in the plumbing system and ensure that all metal parts are properly insulated from each other. Regularly inspect the plumbing system for signs of corrosion and address any problems promptly. The problem may be intermittent. Intermittent electrical problems can be particularly challenging to diagnose. If the electric shock only occurs occasionally, it may be difficult to catch it in the act. Try to keep a detailed record of when the electric shock occurs, including the time of day, the weather conditions, and any other relevant factors. This information can help to identify patterns and narrow down the possible causes of the problem. You may also want to try using a recording voltmeter to monitor the voltage levels in the bathroom over a period of time. This can help to capture any voltage fluctuations or spikes that may be occurring intermittently. Also, involve the utility company. In some cases, the source of the electric shock may be external to the home. For example, there may be a problem with the utility company's power lines or transformers. If you suspect that the utility company may be responsible, contact them and ask them to investigate. They may be able to identify and correct any problems with their equipment. Another important consideration is electromagnetic interference, or EMI. EMI can be caused by a variety of sources, such as radio transmitters, cell phones, and electronic devices. EMI can interfere with the operation of electrical equipment and can sometimes cause electric shocks. To reduce the risk of EMI, keep electronic devices away from the shower area and consider using shielded cables for electrical wiring. Also, ensure that the electrical system is properly grounded to help dissipate any EMI that may be present. Finally, remember that electrical safety is an ongoing process. Regularly inspect the electrical system for any signs of damage or wear and tear. Replace any worn or damaged components promptly. Keep the electrical panel clean and free of obstructions. Educate family members about electrical safety and the importance of avoiding electrical hazards. By taking these steps, you can help to create a safe and healthy environment for everyone in your home. Remember, addressing potential electrical hazards is critical to protect the safety and well-being of the residents.